Q8278. If a required instrument on a multi-engine airplane becomes inoperative, which document required under 14 CFR Part 121 dictates whether the flight may continue en route? A. A master minimum equipment list for the airplane. B. Original dispatch release. C. Certificate holder's manual. The correct answer is C. The certificate holder's manual must include procedures for en route flight, navigation, and communication in the event that any required equipment for a specific type of operation becomes inoperative or unserviceable during the flight. These procedures address the dispatch, release, or continuation of the flight when such equipment issues occur while en route. 9174. Which pressure is defined as station pressure? A. Altimeter setting. B. Actual pressure at field elevation. C. Station barometric pressure reduced to sea level. The correct answer is B. Station pressure is defined as the actual pressure at the field elevation. It is the atmospheric pressure measured at a specific location without any adjustments or corrections applied. Station pressure is important for various purposes, such as calculating density altitude or determining the local weather conditions. 9164. What is corrected altitude, approximate true altitude? A. Pressure altitude corrected for instrument error. B. Indicated altitude corrected for temperature variation from standard. C. Density altitude corrected for temperature variation from standard. The correct answer is C. Corrected altitude, also known as approximate true altitude, refers to density altitude corrected for temperature variation from standard. Density altitude takes into account the effects of temperature on air density, which in turn affects aircraft performance. Corrected altitude provides a more accurate representation of an aircraft's true altitude in relation to its performance capabilities in different atmospheric conditions. 9099. When setting the altimeter, pilots should disregard A. Effects of non-standard atmospheric temperatures and pressures. B. Corrections for static pressure systems. C. Corrections for instrument error. The correct answer is A. When setting the altimeter, pilots should disregard the effects of non-standard atmospheric temperatures and pressures. The altimeter setting is used to adjust the altimeter reading to a standard reference pressure level, typically sea level pressure. It is not intended to account for variations in temperature and pressure that can occur at different altitudes and locations. Pilots should focus on setting the altimeter based on the provided altimeter setting, rather than attempting to correct for non-standard atmospheric conditions. 9173. If the ambient temperature is colder than standard at FL 310, what is the relationship between true altitude and pressure altitude? A. They are both the same, 31,000 feet. B. True altitude is lower than 31,000 feet. C. Pressure altitude is lower than true altitude. The correct answer is B. If the ambient temperature is colder than standard at FL 310, flight level 310, the true altitude will be lower than 31,000 feet. This is because colder temperatures result in higher air density, which causes the altimeter to read higher than the true altitude. In other words, the altimeter overestimates the true altitude in colder temperatures. Therefore, the true altitude will be lower than the indicated pressure altitude at FL 310 when the ambient temperature is colder than standard.